For seafarers, this route is critical, but tensions near the Strait of Hormuz are turning one of the world's busiest shipping lanes into a high-risk zone. Let's discuss this situation.
Today, we're navigating one of the most volatile and strategically critical waterways on the entire planet, the Strait of Hormuz. We're going to break down how recent geopolitical tensions have basically turned these waters into a front line, and what that means for the seafarers who sail through them, and of course for the global economy that depends on them.
You know, you could make a really strong argument that, right now, this narrow strait is the world's most dangerous workplace. For the crews on these massive ships, this isn't some distant news headline. No, it's a daily, life-threatening reality. So how did it get so perilous?
Well, the answer really starts with this number, 20%. Just think about that. Nearly a fifth of the entire world's oil supply has to pass through this one single choke point. That incredible volume makes it a point of immense global leverage and, when conflict breaks out, a primary target.
To really get a handle on the risks these seafarers are facing every single day, we need to rewind a little bit and see exactly how this waterway became such a dangerous flashpoint. The current crisis really ignited back in 2026. A rapid-fire series of military strikes and retaliations between Iran and Western forces sent these huge shockwaves through the region. And as tensions hit a boiling point, Iran issued a pretty stark warning. It could disrupt shipping whenever it wanted, effectively weaponizing the strait itself.
Okay, so let's zoom in on the map for a second, because the geography of this place, that's the real key to understanding why it holds so much power.
The Strait of Hormuz is the only sea passage from the Persian Gulf to the open ocean. That means every single tanker carrying oil from giants like Saudi Arabia, Iraq, and Kuwait has to funnel through this one narrow exit to reach the rest of the world.
And this makes it a perfect example of what's known as a maritime choke point. It's a term for a narrow channel that's absolutely essential for global trade, but its geography also makes it incredibly vulnerable. Any blockage, whether it's military or even accidental, has immediate global consequences.
And this is where that vulnerability becomes crystal clear. At its narrowest point, the strait is only about 33 kilometers. That's roughly 21 miles wide. That is an incredibly tight squeeze, and it makes any ship passing through a potential target for anyone looking to cause trouble in the region.
So let's shift our focus now, away from the geopolitical map and onto the human reality. What's it actually like on the bridge of a supertanker in these waters? Because for seafarers, this isn't some strategic game, it's a matter of life and death.
For the crews on these massive ships, the risks are just terrifyingly real. I mean, imagine the constant threat of a missile or a drone strike coming out of nowhere, or the silent, deadly possibility of a naval mine hidden just below the surface. Then you add in the danger of aggressive encounters with fast attack boats, and what you get is a recipe for extreme, non-stop psychological stress.
So in response, these ships have been forced to adopt what are basically military-grade procedures. This means heightened security watches 24/7. The bridge and the engine room are on constant standby, ready for emergency maneuvers at a moment's notice. Every single transit is treated like a high-stakes military operation. This is the new dangerous normal.
Now, this high-alert environment and all these very real dangers, they have an immediate and powerful ripple effect that spreads across the entire global shipping industry.
It really breaks down into a direct cause and effect. The constant threat of an attack forces shipping companies to delay tanker loadings or even suspend voyages altogether. The danger in these waters causes a massive spike in what's called war risk insurance, and all of this uncertainty just drives up the cost of shipping for everybody, creating port congestion and delays down the line.
And you can see that financial impact in stark terms right here. War risk insurance premiums. That's an extra cost just for sailing through dangerous areas. They haven't just risen a little bit. They have absolutely skyrocketed. This is a direct financial measurement of the risk that seafarers and shipping companies are being forced to take on every single day.
So we've seen the impact on the crews and the companies. But this isn't just a shipping industry problem. The crisis happening in this one narrow strait has a direct line to your wallet.
Here's how it works. A disruption in the strait means a disruption in oil supply, which immediately pushes up prices at the pump for you and me. The higher insurance and freight costs mean it costs more to transport everything, not just oil. And all of this combines to create serious inflationary pressures on the entire global economy.
This quote really drives the point home. The world's fastest-growing economies, especially in Asia, are incredibly dependent on the oil that passes through this one strait. A crisis here is a major crisis for their energy security and their economic stability.
So what this all comes down to is this. The safety of those few hundred crew members on watch in the Strait of Hormuz at any given moment, it's not some niche concern. They are a vital link in the chain that literally holds our global economy together. Their risk is truly our risk.
And that leads us to a final, critical question. When you consider the immense psychological toll on these crews and the cascading costs that eventually reach all of us, it really forces you to ask, who truly pays the price for ensuring safe passage through the world's most dangerous waters?
If you found this useful, hit like and subscribe for more maritime exam and seagoing knowledge. See you in the next video.